Yo, check it. Welcome back to another podcast episode
in Masterpiece Studio. What number are we on?
I think we're just not gonna stop saying. We're just gonna stop saying numbers now.
We should keep track
because we have no idea.
I know. I have no idea.
And
we're in the. I think we're still in the 50s, right?
Yeah, it's still in the 50s, and I mean the important thing is we're still going. So that's
I know. We're still here today.
As long as we're still going, that's all that matters.
Yeah,
because we took 2 weeks off. Mm-hmm. Does it feel that long?
It feels a little long. I feel like it was a good break.
It was a good break for sure.
Because we were doing a bunch like back to back.
Yeah. Because it felt like taking that 2 weeks off from the podcast. I don't know. I was feeling a little guilty because it seems like we weren't doing anything. But
really?
Then we also recorded. So it's not like we missed the episodes. It's more of,
Yeah.
But we needed those breaks, though.
Yeah, we did. I did, especially because my schedule changed.
Yeah.
So I needed that time.
Give us some updates of the 2 week updates.
Jeez, 2 weeks. I feel like it was a little longer than 2 weeks. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. But in that 2 weeks, so I did get a new job, and I'm liking it. It's a Monday through Friday now. Prior to that, I used to work the 3/14s, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And it's a really good place, really good people. I mean, it's definitely going to push me. It's something new for me. So it's definitely challenging mentally. You know what I mean? So it's pretty cool, but I get an office and I'm like, damn.
I know. She got her own fridge in her office.
I know. I got like this.
She sent us a photo on her first day, but like, hey guys, I got a new fridge. I got an own fridge in my office.
I know.
Like, I've made it.
Like a legit fridge. It's a nice fridge too. It's like the one with like the clear front.
So they can see.
I feel like that's like something that I should have here. And those fridges are expensive.
Are they?
Yeah, because basically what happens is if it's damaged out there, then they don't, like, the customer doesn't want to take it, obviously. So then instead of throwing it away, we can keep one.
Yeah. So, just kind of smack that thing a little bit. Be like, hey, this thing is broken. I'm taking it
I don't know how 100 got broken, but they're all broken. No, but aside from that, yeah, I've just been trying to get into a routine. So I've realized that my life goes into chaos when I don't have a lot of structure. And I don't know, currently right now, because I still work for somebody else, that structure lies with them. And so
makes sense.
So it helps me that I'm doing something a little bit every day than to not be doing anything for X amount of days. I don't know. It's just odd for me. And I think what it was is I was so exhausted from that weekend shift that Monday was obviously shot. Like I didn't, that was literally all recovery. And then you kind of get into this mentality where it's like, oh, you're home and I want to spend time with my son. And then it's like, I don't really want to do anything.
It's like, it was just like off, I guess.
Yeah, it was just off. And then a lot of stuff started happening on the weekend. And it was just too much. Like I went to that Friday through Sunday job many times with either without sleep or only sleeping like 2-3 hours.
Ooh.
And it was just not working. And I think that's what started a lot of like my weird mental changes and like.
I mean, you need sleep, Felicia.
My eating habits and stuff too. So that's starting to get better. It's July. It's my birthday month. But on July 9th, there's going to be a challenge at my work, like a Biggest Loser. So I'm going to join that because I get really competitive.
Why? What is it? Like you're supposed to lose weight? Or like
like you put money into a pot and whoever loses the most weight after 6 weeks gets it. So it's probably going to be me.
Hey, let's go.
Every work challenge that I've done, I've like won. Like if it was me and a partner or just me on my own, I get very competitive.
I mean, that's good. I mean, it's kind of good for you, too, because, you've been wanting to lose weight.
Yeah, I think I just need like a jump start.
This is a good jump start motivation for you.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm pretty excited about that. But other than that, just trying to enjoy the summer. It's hot now, finally, a little bit too hot. Neither of my cars have AC. Gotta get it
What?
I know.
I would
Neither.
lose my
I've been
fucking
losing
mind.
my mind. It's also been a sauna in my car.
I'm
so
just gonna be like, I'm just gonna stay home
Yeah.
where there's AC. I'm not
It's
driving
rough.
anywhere.
It's super rough.
Yeah, I bet.
But yeah, just trying to get used to the new schedule, the routine, slowly starting to get back into my planning. I've been trying to start my days a little bit earlier. So like during the work week, I try to wake up like 5 or 6 and then do a little cardio.
You go to the gym that
even
early?
It's for like 30 minutes. Yeah. I did it a few times. Yeah.
The gym or your
My apartment gym. But my apartment gym's pretty legit.
Yeah.
So, but I've been doing that. Just again, just trying to like plan out my day, create structure. So I have some sense of organization and habit,
Yeah.
you know?
It's important, especially for people that like you that like certain type of,
Yeah.
structure, and like you
Yeah.
don't, like you told me, like you don't like to do things unplanned.
Yeah.
And it just drives you nuts.
Yeah. When something goes unplanned, I lose my mind. Or like when something doesn't go as planned, I really lose my mind. Like it takes a lot for me to like chill out, and I am probably too excessive over
I
those
mean, you're
situations.
doing better though.
But
I feel like you've let go of it a little bit.
yeah, I'm trying.
I mean, that's the most important part, that you're actually trying.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Because honestly, I can notice the difference between you from a couple weeks ago and to now. Because like when I came in earlier today, we were just like all smiles,
Yeah.
like, all right, at least Felicia's in a good mood.
She's gonna be in a good mood today.
At least like it's gonna be a good podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been rough. I had like a really low point, really low, a couple weeks ago, and since then though I've been trying to get better. It was really bad.
Yeah.
Not good.
But at least you still did your thing.
Yeah.
We still recorded our podcast and you did a bunch of stuff. And that's probably why, because there's just so many things that
Yeah, so many things
you
happening.
didn't give yourself enough time to recover.
Right. Yeah.
Not just with
probably.
sleep, but mentally.
Yeah, mentally but yeah, so now my focus obviously is focusing on myself, but then now I'm gonna get back into like fixing this place up, completing it. So okay. What about you? What's your updates?
For the last 2 weeks, it was kind of it's good because I finished 2 songs that I'm gonna release this month. Yeah, so if you're listening to this episode, there's a new song coming out this Friday. But if you're
Nice.
listening to it after that, then
It's already out.
it's already out. But yeah, so I'm planning to release 2 songs this month. They're both different from each other, which is good. And also, I've been going to Lake Tahoe a lot lately.
I know, I've been seeing his posts. He's been going to Lake Tahoe, and I really need to go out there because I made the mistake last year where I was like, oh, we're going to get out there, and then we never do. And I really want to go out there and take Keelan. I want him to experience the lake and being out in nature.
He's been there, right?
He went, we went as a family, and he was 6 months old.
Oh,
Maybe a little less.
count.
He was so new, and like the minute his little toes popped in that water, he started like,
I was like, it's too cold.
yeah, he didn't enjoy it. He probably doesn't remember, but he'll definitely enjoy it now.
Oh, he'll enjoy it now.
Yeah, he'll love it. And oh my gosh, my son's skin. Oh, he is glowing right now. He's brown and beautiful, like, because he's
Why, has he been in
normally
the sun a
like
lot?
without sun, he's more like my complexion. But now he's got a nice brown, golden brown going.
So
yeah,
good.
Yeah, he spends a lot of time at grandma in her backyard, swimming in their little blow up
Oh,
thing.
he would love it in Lake Tahoe then.
Oh, I know, he'd love it. I want to take him. Yeah, I got to take him. This month I'm going.
You have to. That's a
Yeah.
goal.
We're gonna go.
But yeah, I've been going to Lake Tahoe a lot. It's been chill. Because one of my friends Rafi, he just quit his job.
Right.
So he's been down and like, and he also got a new car. So he's been like, yeah, let's go up to Tahoe and just
chill.
Yeah, send it.
Yeah. Enjoy the life.
Enjoy the life. And I don't know, it's been great. Because I felt like I just needed. It's weird because I feel guilty for not working hard enough, but then also it seems like I needed a break. So I don't know. It's like it's a weird.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
I'm
just You're just living.
I'm just living, I guess. I guess that's the answer.
And it's not that you're not working, because I think we talked about that, like, as part of the toxic positivity.
Yeah.
Like you're putting that own pressure onto yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And think about it. You made 2 new songs.
That's true.
You're not working.
That's true.
You've been putting out content. I mean, you did videos recently, like this guy.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm not working. Shut up, JERiCK. Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. So I have this tattoo. It's probably a good segue, but I'm starting to realize that I'm over not being or evolving into the person that I want to be.
What do you mean?
So the big start to that is to start finishing some of my tattoo pieces.
Hey.
And so a lot of that decision making, or my decisions to not continue that, is because my mother, basically my whole family, aside from my sister, like, they're not tattoo people. They're against it. Doesn't make you a bad person, clearly. Like,
You're a grown-ass woman, Felicia. You can do whatever.
But it's like, there's just such negative judgment, like really negative judgment, especially from my mother, in regards to getting tattoos and telling me to remove them. And if I don't remove them, she's going to haunt me when she's dead. Really nasty things were said because of these. But you know what? I'm like, fuck that. I'm sorry, and no disrespect, but I'm like,
gotta live your life though.
Damn it. Like, this is what I want. Like, I see myself having like a full sleeve and potentially more. Like, I want to tattoo my body, So I started that process with a local artist here, Emerson. I truly love her work.
Oh, she does tattoos?
She does tattoos. She's
I didn't know that.
And it's
I thought
crazy.
it was body paint, but I guess
it's tattoos.
Oh.
Yeah, so I had a consultation with her, and it was really great. And like, she drew in my arm, and I was like, this feels right. Like, it sat well. And, she's big about energy and like spirituality. So she was telling me when we start my bigger piece, which
we should have her on the podcast.
I know. I'll talk to her. But when I started in August, like, she does this whole thing. It's like a whole spiritual process. What? Yeah. So like, and I don't want to give away what she does. Like, I'll let you experience that. But I'm like, oh, this is going to be cool. Because I told her, I was like, I kind of want this to be my journey, because I feel like I'm trying to, emerge, if that makes sense. But anyways, my first tattoo is just work that she's already done. And I was like, I really like those pieces. I get on Tuesday. So I'm going to get this here behind my neck. August, we're going to start the completion of my sleeve. And yeah, I'm just like over it. Like,
excited?
I'm excited, because I'm like, dude, I just need to be
myself.
You? Yeah. I just need to be who I want to be, and not, even if it offends people.
And I think you just sometimes like be who you want to be, and also like say what you want to say,
Yeah.
Because I think we hold ourselves back so much just for other people, that we look out for other people, but then we hurt ourselves in that way, because we don't say what we mean. And
yeah, it's true. It's like,
it sucks.
Yeah, it's hard. It's like you're living a double life. Like, if you're trying to do right by the other person instead of doing right by yourself.
Yeah.
Or for yourself, it's a hard life to live, because there's going to be a point, which I feel like I'm reaching that point right now, where I'm like, bro, this isn't me. You know what I mean? Like, who am I trying to be? Like, I've always wanted to kind of grow into what I see myself being, or what I know I'd be comfortable being. But I just have never done that because I'd look wrong to my family, you know? And unfortunately, a lot of us try to impress parents or, you know, to uphold this image, even if it's like literally killing you inside.
Yeah. Because what I've really been trying to do a lot lately, I'm really trying to work on like my mental health and just expressing what I feel and not being scared or not have any expectations of other people's like feedback from it. Because it's more for me, you know. Like if I feel some type of way, like I'm gonna say it, even if it's gonna cause a little tension. But I think is like ultimately like my intention is good. Like I'm not gonna like just talk shit or whatever. Like if I feel some type of way about like somebody did something to me or just I guess in any opinions that I have, I'm just gonna say it. And so far it's been working out.
Good.
So it's like, hey, this shit actually works.
Yeah. I mean, because you'll know right away if, you know, whoever you're targeting is supposed to be there or if they're not. You know what I mean? Because I think if they're supposed to be present in your life, regardless of
whatever you say
or your approach, you know what I mean? There probably is going to be a point of reflection, you know what I mean? And then they'll kind of decide their path, you know, in regards to you being there or not, you know? So, but I don't know. I'm super excited. I feel like things are in motion personally, you know what I mean? And I hope I'm right, you know?
You're right.
I believe I'm right.
You know, it's like if you feel good about it, that means it's like right for you.
Yeah.
You know,
just gonna continue the manifestation that I've had, but I've suppressed, you know.
That's a good segue to today's topic.
Today's topic is
magic.
Spirituality.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Bro, I love Harry Potter. Somebody take me to Harry Potter land, please. One of my best friends, Jeanette, she's an air flight. A flight attendant, a beautiful flight attendant. She'd be traveling all over the world. I'm so proud of her. But she shares a Harry Potter love with me, but she's been there many times without me. Oh. So I'm just waiting for somebody to take me.
Anthony.
Probably my husband. Yeah. I know it costs money, but shoot. Maybe there's a contest I'll enter and I'll win
And she also wants just announcement to all our audience.
Yeah.
If you feel so Felicia's birthday is coming up. If you feel
July
inclined
15th.
to give her a gift, she wants the Blu-ray box set.
I just need all the Harry Potter movies because here's the thing. Why I never bought them, I don't know. But it's been on my Amazon list forever. Ain't nobody ever bought it for me.
Yeah, in Blu-ray, guys,
And
not some DVD ass shit.
I've depended too much on streaming to hope that it's all just going to appear somewhere. And apparently it did.
In Amazon. In
on
HBO.
But they took it off.
Yeah, they just took it off like a couple days ago.
God, give me a chance. Guys, give me a chance to just watch them all.
I know, I tried to watch all 7 in like 3 days. It never happened. I watched like 2.5 and like, damn. Because these movies are so long.
You know what's funny? What I did, like one of the last things I did, like a marathon with Harry Potter, was when I was pregnant. So I tried to line up the days that I had left before Keelan was going to, you know, be birthed into the world.
Did it line up?
It didn't line up. He came a little too soon and my marathon had to get cut short. So I know. So I love those movies. There's like certain movies and series like Harry Potter that just brighten my world. I get in a good mood.
If you ever get that Blu-ray box set, then we'll do another movie night.
I know. I was going to buy a projector.
Or that too.
I mean, bring it to the studio.
Yeah, because I mean, like I think we could use that if you roll out the white. Yeah, like it will
reflect on there.
Yeah,
sick. All right.
So
segue back.
We always get.
I know.
Just derailed quickly.
It's real conversations, guys. Okay, you know people be going every which way.
Yeah.
But no, our topic today is spirituality.
Yeah, so this might be a little. I don't know if touchy is the right word, but I know some people don't care for it or don't believe it, and that's totally cool. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you're still here and actually curious about this topic, then it's gonna get a little wild.
Spicy. I don't think wild's the right word.
Get a little crazy. You'll probably think we're crazy.
I think though with spirituality, well, I think in how we'll talk about it though, it's less of education and more of experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's definitely how spirituality impacts our lives, you know, and that's very different when it comes to each individual.
You want me to start this off, or do you want to start this?
No, start it. Start it.
Okay, so I've grown up. So I was raised as a Catholic in the Philippines. So like they're Philippines is very religious. I mean, there's different religion, but one of the main ones is Catholics. So I was raised in that, and like I believed in it because I was, like when you're raised, in a certain like culture, that's what kind of you just know, like that's what happens. And then I moved here. I was still, going to church and all that. And then once I got to like college and getting out of college and living my own life, I think I kind of just like not necessarily walked away, but my beliefs kind of went on a different route.
Right.
And I still go to church because that's the only time that I get to spend with like my family, my parents. So I just kind of like keep that as like part of my tradition in a way. And because I know there's like a big separation when it comes to spirituality and religion. Because I'm sure, a lot of people that are religious, they think that spirituality is kind of a little out there, and then vice versa.
Right.
But I think like the thing that really woke me up, I guess, I don't know if that's the right word, but
I think so.
I think I realized last year, this was before my shroom trip, actually. So I started hanging out. Well, I had a client that was doing meditation and yoga. So I was filming him, Javon, if you're watching this, or, if you know of him, he's a really cool dude.
Right.
So I was doing his meditation course. I was filming that for him. And then I was like, this is really interesting. Like the stuff that he was talking about.
Right.
And he was always talking about like meditation. And I'm just like, I never meditated before because I thought I like having chaos in my head.
Right.
Because like, that works for me. Like I've lived this long. Like that's what worked, And then now I'm just like, I don't like having too much crazy shit in my head, Sometimes you just want to be still. And so he invited us to like his meditation class. Remember that?
Yeah, I did a couple.
So those were like really interesting. I was like, like during that time, like I wasn't really like fully into it. Yeah. So I'm just like, this is kind of relaxing. This is nice, And then I remember us going out to eat after that. And during that time, I was extremely broke. And we decided to go to Grateful Gardens. And I was like, fuck, that place is hella expensive.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was already stressed. I was like, barely have any money on my bank accounts. And I was just like, fuck, man. Like, why do we have to go to Grateful Gardens?
Yeah.
But everybody, like there was like at least five of us, I think, during that time. And then you were like, oh yeah, let's all go there. I was like, all right, fine. I was forced. But then, like I had a credit card. So like I knew I could still afford it in a way. But, so I sat down on that table. I remember at that moment, I was like, why am I stressing out about this so much? Like I think like my relationship with money, like I'm always kind of like, I'm scared of spending it.
Right.
Even though like I wanted all the things that I want.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, every time I buy something, I was just like, like I'm losing money.
Right.
So like at that moment, I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. Like I'm already broke anyway. So like, why?
Right.
Stressed about this, and just enjoy my meal. Like, fuck it. Like I'm going to enjoy this fucking $20 meal or whatever, however much that was. And the crazy thing that happened after that was like I started getting more clients, and then like, you know, I was getting paid more. I was just like, oh shit. Like me letting go of my attachment about like losing money actually gave me money, which is like it seems like counterintuitive, right? Like, oh, you don't care about spending money, that means you're getting more money. It's like, that doesn't make sense.
Though. It's like you made room in your
but
cup.
if you're not like spiritually open, like it doesn't make sense.
Right.
You know, if you don't believe in that, it's just like, oh, you spending money and not worrying about money makes you money. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like that was like the first kind of opening for me, like, this universe thing is kind of interesting.
Right.
You know, because like before that, like obviously like I would pray and be like, hey, like, you know, I would pray to God and be like, hey, I want this.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I want. And somehow it worked out for me. But then like being actually like focusing more on like the spiritual side of things, I'm like,
right.
Damn, there's like a whole different like world out there of just like how we live our own like reality, you know?
I think with spirituality though, and I think it could be that way because in my opinion, like religion is more catered to that religion, like that entity, like the God and whatever else you believe.
And if you don't believe in that, you're basically an outsider.
Yeah, but spirituality, I think you kind of turn that around, and now that it's like self-serving, you know what I mean? Because then you start focusing on you, you know, which I think is why spirituality like can be so healing.
Yeah, because it's all on you instead of like looking for outside,
right?
You know, validation or outside source. But yeah, so that was like the start of my spiritual awakening. And then when I was on psychedelics, when I was on shrooms, that was the actual like busted that door open.
Right.
I was like, what the fuck? It just like, fuck, I know nothing.
Yeah.
It was just like that awakening of like, holy shit, I thought I had everything figured out. But this world is fucking crazy.
Right.
And like, I get it for people that don't do psychedelics or any drugs. I mean, obviously there's like bad drugs out there that are like, you know, like all the meth and whatever crap out there. But the natural drugs that actually opens your mind to things, I feel like those should be explored more. Because I know it's illegal, because I have my own opinions on why it's illegal. Like, we can talk about that some other time. But man, if you take psychedelics or something that like would open your mind to the outside world and not just like here, it's I would highly recommend it. But yeah, tell me about yours before we go deeper into it.
Honestly, so I was the same way. So I was baptized into the Catholic Church, and I also, sorry, I saw someone there. I was like, who's there?
There's ghosts.
Also because we have a pickup at noon. But anyways, but I was baptized into the Catholic Church. And yeah, I would frequent, the Sundays, you go to mass and do that whole thing. I went to like Catholic school, not like education, but I went to like Sunday school basically. I was confirmed into the Catholic Church. I did my confirmation, and I I did some things like with outside groups like the BLD and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I actually went through, did you do LSS?
I did.
With BLD. Yeah. So I did that with them too. And whatever happened there, that's when it like my, kind of like my spiritual stuff, like my like gifts, you know, like the intuitive stuff, like the intuitions or like seeing things. Yeah. I know it sounds weird.
No, it's like, I totally get it. So if people are watching or listening to this and you think we're a little crazy,
yeah,
it's all good. You know,
right.
like you can feel how you want to feel, but we're just sharing our experience.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, like you honestly, like you don't have to believe it, you know, like,
right. But
yeah.
Essentially like you get, blessed with the Holy Spirit. Right. Mm-hmm. And if you know the story of the Bible, there's certain gifts that you can, receive in regards to that. And so some of it is like, for instance, like speaking in tongues, like that was like one of the things. And every now and then, like I'll kind of like revert back to that. Like it'll just be like a weird moment. But I've heard that when you're in that type of prayer, that you're not usually praying for yourself. Like it's like someone else is like praying through you. But other stuff that I experienced with the LSS was kind of like I just knew that other things were around, you know what I mean? And so it got really weird, not weird, but it would kind of get to the point where like I was so sensitive to energy. And I don't know if like that it was supposed to work that way, but that's how it worked with me, is that like I knew how you felt. I could I knew exactly what you were going through. And it's like I would like absorb that, and I could either take it away or I could tell you what you needed to do so you can like fix yourself.
Yeah, because I feel like I have that too.
Yeah.
I know it's funny because like recently it seems like, so I've been hanging out with like all these different people, right? And they all seem to really just open up and not necessarily rant. It's more of like vent.
Right.
About whatever struggles they have going on in their lives. And they just seems to like be so comfortable doing that around me.
Right.
And like I've asked people like, why do you think that is? Like, and I mean, like honestly, I don't mind. But I think like because they said that you just have like that energy where you're just like, you're allowing people to just be themselves, I guess. Which is like, you know, it's a good compliment for me. But I was just very curious.
Right.
I wonder if I've always had that, but I just never really paid attention to it. But now I'm just like, huh.
Yeah. And it's true, because that's exactly what I would go through. Like I would literally, like when I took the bus, like City Fair, you know, someone would sit next to me and like instantly, like just whole life.
Yeah.
Like I have never met this person, but they would just like pour their heart out, you know what I mean? And I never really understood it, but obviously it was for a purpose. But then some odd, like I would consider paranormal things.
Tell us about that, Felicia.
I was like, no, we should do a whole paranormal segment.
Okay.
Because it's a long story.
All right.
And anyways, so that happened, and I actually had to go like talk to a priest, and he had to like coach me and tell me what I needed to do. And a lot of it was like not giving power to whatever paranormal activity that was happening, because it was like negative. And so then I think it scared me. So I shut off.
So you shut off the whole like spiritual thing?
Yeah. Like, so I stopped like being in touch with my like intuitiveness or like my clairvoyancy, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So then, you know, I stopped going to church completely. And then I took a world's religions class in college.
I took that too.
And
they're all fucking the same.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not the greatest class in the world, but it was very eye-opening, because what it made me realize is that at the end of the day, religion, well, one, the way religion is run now is it's a business.
It is.
Like these churches make bank, these people who like, you know, these, not everybody, but a lot of them, you know, when they host those big things and those huge conferences, like those people are cashing out. Like you're paying them. It's a business at that point, you know, but religion to me is you're just believing in a higher power.
Yeah. And I think it's like, what my opinion about it is, the reason why religion works is because people, not just the structure, but like just like the whole, all these different religions, right? People subscribe to it because they're looking for answers, and they don't know how to get it themselves, so they'll just go to somebody else, you know,
Right.
like, hey, like tell me how to live my life, and like there's nothing wrong with that, because like obviously like if you don't know what you're doing, then like fuck, like I need help, you know,
Right.
and the only way to do that is, at least for some people or for a lot of people,
Right.
is choose a religion that works best for them. That's
Yeah.
why like you see a lot of people that switch religions, and because like, oh, this didn't work
Yeah,
for
they're
me.
like, yeah, that didn't make sense, and this makes more sense.
And like spirituality is more vague because it's very individual. That's what I realized, because like the way I think about it is, I don't know, it's like it's just in my own head. Like me trying to explain it, it's
Right.
just sounds so crazy and woo woo. That's why I don't even try, because like
Yeah, I mean, it's self-driven. You determine what your spirituality is,
yeah, because like
and your purpose, right? Because it's reflective to you as a person.
yeah, because honestly, like I feel like this is why I believe. I feel like I have a guide, whatever, whoever it is, or like maybe spirits, the universe. There's different like names for it, God, whatever you call it, and that's what I kind of just like. Hey, like I kind of talk to him as kind of like a buddy, you know, like hey, like what do, or it, I guess, I don't know. There's
Yeah.
no really no
Them.
gender to it.
Them.
But I kind of just focus on the positive side of things. That's why I don't get scared about like the bad spirits, because I know like some people's concern is like once you open that spirituality door, you know, you'll attract like, oh, the good spirits and the bad spirits. I try not to look at it that way. I'm just kind of like, my guide is good, and then like it's so strong that like all the bad shit just like doesn't even faze me.
Right.
So that's how I kind of like try not to attract like all the negative things around me. So I'm just like, like I'm way above that shit, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. Like, I know for people that are listening right now, they're probably like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I know, but then there'll be some that will understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I took that world's religions class, and then I realized that I was like, it made more sense to me as to why I stopped going to church, because I kind of felt like after a while that I didn't really belong, and it was like very cliquey, and like within the church too that I was like going to, like some of the people, it's like there's still a lot of like negativity, like gossip, and I don't know, it was just really odd. So then I started like exploring different religions, but it still never really started, and it still never put me into a different religion.
Yeah, it just didn't work for you.
Yeah. So then, you know, a few years after that, then I started getting into like getting into like the meditation and like the self-reflection, because I knew there was just a lot wrong internally that I needed to correct. And I was like, nothing prior has ever really helped me, you know? So I was like, maybe I need to start exploring that,
from within,
that side, you know what I mean? And so I started doing like meditations and reflecting and what do you call it? Intentions and stuff like that, or like journaling. And I'm not perfect at it. Like I'll go in and out of doing it, you know, but I feel like I probably need to start doing it more consistently if I really want to help myself. But I will say though, I've had 3 experiences that I'm like, I need to like find that person again. And one of them was, I remember I was in that paranormal moment where things kind of got really hectic, because I think I was allowing too much to come in. Is I literally, and it's gonna sound wild as fuck.
I thought you wanted to talk about paranormal stuff.
No, but I'm not gonna talk about that part.
Okay.
I'm gonna talk about a moment that I had in that part, and I literally felt like I died because whatever vision, and maybe it was like some type of projection, like the astral projection, where I literally felt like I left my body and someone had me, like somebody was like bringing me somewhere. But I just remember like going up towards the sky. And it was just really bright.
You got that DMT hit on your system.
It was like really bright and like, and I don't know, but all I remember was there was a conversation had. Somebody was telling me things, you know, somebody, and then the only other thing I remember was, it's not your time yet. You have to go back. And then like,
did it tell you what?
I jerked up. Like I woke up gasping for air.
Did it tell you what you should do, or it was just like you just?
But see,
it's not
that's
your
the
time?
thing. I haven't figured out what was said, and ever since that moment, though, I go back to it, and I'm like, what was said? So that was that moment.
That sounds a lot like a DMT trip. I've never experienced it. I was trying to, but we couldn't figure things out.
Maybe I did. Maybe somebody gave me something I didn't know.
Or maybe because like your body does produce it.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
somehow it clicked for you, and then you just fucking went on a fucking rocket ship.
Isn't that stuff only released like
Apparently,
when you
it's
die?
released when you're born
and when you die?
and when you die.
Yeah, so I swear by that
I
moment.
mean,
I'm
you
like,
probably died.
I literally thought that was it. But whatever experience I had away from my body,
Yeah.
it was like I was getting all this knowledge, right? They're feeding me all this knowledge. But then they were like, you like basically like you can't be here. Like you're not supposed to be here. Like you need to go back.
Yeah.
And so whatever, maybe it was like a spirit guide, brought me back to my body, and I woke up gasping for air, and I was like,
Because honestly,
like,
that's
what did they say? What did you tell me?
Yeah, that's honestly because I've watched a lot of YouTube videos about people taking DMT, and that's how exactly they describe their
experience.
of DMT. Like
Bro.
their body,
Bro, I
their
died.
soul, basically left their body, and all this information, thousands of years of information, just like in a few moments, you know, for like few minutes in time, and then they send you back and be like, oh fuck, like
Yeah.
I know nothing, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. So when
How old were you then?
Shoot, I wasn't 20 yet. I must have been like 18 or
It's
19.
like probably like right after high school.
Yeah, 18 or 19.
Damn.
So yeah, that was like my first moment, and I always go back to that. Another moment though, where it kind of reminded me that I was that person, like that spiritual person, is I was hanging out with some friends when I lived in Vegas, and I was talking to this security guard, and I don't know how the conversation started, but we started talking about like that kind of stuff, like intuition, spirituality stuff. And he's like, I see you. He's like, you're a light bearer. He's like, you're a light, basically. Like you carry the light for a lot of people. Like he's like, but the way I see you now, he's like, you're a good person now. He's like, but this is not who you are. He's like, but I'm going to see you in a couple years. And he's like, and that's the person you're supposed to be. He's like, so you're not who you are yet. And then, but when he kept talking about the light, like usually that's like my mantra, like what I meditate to is like, I am the light. I don't know why. Like I always gravitate to that. So that was like my second moment.
Yeah.
And then my third moment was actually a meditation with Javon, where I realized I had a lot of like internal shadow work I needed to do. Because I don't know if you remember when we had the meditation where where he told us basically your inner child.
Yeah.
And like you had to go down the steps, and I usually do pretty well in meditations. And in that meditation, I blacked out. So like
it was funny because like my experience of that is because I think I was like during that time while I was doing it, I was kind of like questioning everything. So like I never really got the full experience.
Right.
Because I was just like, I've never done this before. Like this is a little weird, you know?
Yeah.
But I think that was just kind of like a foot on the door for me. I'm like, there's actually something different out there than
Yeah.
what I used to know. I think like spirituality is just, it's an interesting topic. Like it's so hard to just talk about it.
Because it's not really concrete. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I mean, there's a lot of educational stuff about spirituality and
like
to kind of guide you, right? But at the end of the day, it's literally your own path. It's your own belief system, your purpose. I think it's very internal and self-driven.
Yeah, and I think like one of the reasons why people are so kind of against it in a way, especially in America, because we're very like materialistic, like as a society, as a culture, like we like to own shit, you know.
Right.
We like money, and just like I feel like that's like we put that as like the highest achievement that we could get, like the more money we
wealth,
could get.
yeah.
Wealth basically. And they think that spirituality is like one or the other, right? So like, oh, if you're spiritual, like you should just become a monk and not want any of these things. But what I've realized is that spirituality is like, yeah, like you said, it's your own religion for yourself,
Yeah.
I guess. And you can be spiritual and still have wealth, you know?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to be a monk and live in a cave somewhere and meditate fucking 20 hours a day.
Right,
you
right.
know? You don't have to do that. Like, you don't even have to fucking meditate.
There's like different levels
Yeah.
to spirituality, you know, because even that kind of stuff too is still kind of driven by a type of religion. You know what I mean? But when you can't put a name to what you believe in, then I think that's truly
Yeah.
like yourself. What's the word? Like
Awareness?
a self-awareness, like
Yeah.
your enlightenment, like your own.
Yeah, I guess like your own little. Yeah, I
Like
guess,
without structure, your chaotic self, unstructured religion.
yeah,
I
because
guess.
honestly,
you know? I
for
don't
me,
know.
I just live in my own fucking bubble, and I think that's why I'm generally very happy person. But obviously, I still have my own shit to worry about, and I think
Right.
it's like a lot of it, honestly, is I'm just in my own head. I'm making my own problems that doesn't really exist, but I make it
Right.
up on my, you know, like whatever caused that childhood trauma, whatever.
Right.
It is what it is. But yeah, I think spirituality is more of just like your own self religion and not, and it's different for everybody. Yeah, I mean, like it's just so
It's just-
broad, it's so wide, it's like it's
Yeah.
so hard to
There's so much.
grasp it.
But we should probably, you know, revisit this and bring in somebody for like the educational piece.
Yeah,
You
and
know
I
what
think
mean?
like different perspective too.
Right.
You know, because like I know some people are like into the like psychedelic realm.
Dude,
that-
I've been watching a lot of stuff about the psychedelic stuff.
there's this
and
documentary on Netflix you should watch. It's about psychedelics.
I think I might have already. Does it talk about DMT too?
They mention it, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, tell me about it. But there's like therapists now that are starting to use that in their practice.
Oh yeah. Like shrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, because honestly, shrooms should, in my opinion, it should be legal because it's very mind opening. But
No, but that's
I-
exactly why it would be
yeah,
illegal.
that's
Jerry.
why,
Like,
and that's why they regulate that shit because they don't want woke people to be around. You know, like they want to control whoever it is. You know, like people's, you know, government, whatever.
right. It's like society runs better
Yeah,
when
there's a
the
bunch of followers.
Yeah, the masses follow
yeah, whatever. You know.
a strict guideline, or you know what I mean, like the same path. But if you have too many people thinking for themselves,
yeah, it's
right,
it'll
in
get
their
a little
eyes,
chaotic.
like, it'll be chaos, right?
Yeah. So like I totally
Silly.
get why that's the case. So, you know, I'm not gonna try to
Yeah.
fucking debate people with it. But,
I know.
Yeah. How about you, Felicia? Are you
What?
ready for your awakening?
Man,
You
I've
want to
been-
talk
I've
about
been-
that?
I've been trying to find my awakening for freaking since I had my weird experience. I'm like, I'm going to find out if I go through my awakening. I know it's going to happen.
I can't wait for Felicia to have her psychedelic experience. It's going to be fucking wild.
It's not going to happen. I'm just kidding.
Why? She's going to see her in one of these episodes like, Felicia looks different.
I'll be a different person. It might come with a different name. I don't know. I'm not Felicia. I've never been Felicia. I'd be like, well, you've done too much.
I know, right? Like you took a little bit too much.
That's funny. No, but yeah, I'm trying to add that piece, like the meditation side, back into my routine. So I'm slowly starting to build what I want my day to look like.
Like an actual like routine.
Yeah, daily? Because I think I need it. Like I need something to just kind of set me in the right direction, because I've been kind of living all over the place and it hasn't really worked. And like I said earlier, I was like, I know I do better structured, but I want to create that structure because I do great when people structure things for me, which is why I think the corporate stuff works well because, they're telling you what to do, but I'm like, no. Like, I don't want to do that.
This podcast probably drive you crazy because there's no fucking structure. I mean, I guess we kind of have a little bit of structure.
It's just a conversation. Yeah. But I'm like, I one was doing like my health, like getting up, drinking water, going to the gym, and then getting like some time for myself, which includes meditation.
Do you go to your phone first thing you wake up, or do you try not to? I try not to do that.
I do that now, but that's going to be one of the things that I don't want to do.
Yeah, because honestly, like that's what actually kind of helped. Mm-hmm. Because like before, I would wake up and that was the first thing I would grab and like start going on Instagram, Facebook. Yeah.
And it just sucks you in. And actually, one of the most productive months that I've had was when I decided to stop using my phone. I took a phone break.
Oh, yeah?
Nothing. No social media, nothing. And it was like...
I need to do that.
Everything just started like working. I'm like, all the things I thought I couldn't do literally was because I was on my phone. I'm like, that is freaking pathetic. Like,
I should do that. I should do that. Maybe I should do that for a week.
I did it for a month. I did it for a New Year's resolution.
Wait, did you not have a phone or what?
I did have my phone. I did like the texting and whatnot, but I took away all my social media apps because that was the thing that was keeping me so occupied. Going through, you just go through these rabbit holes, man. TikToks.
I think I'm gonna try that for a week. I think I'm gonna delete Instagram and Facebook. Mm-hmm. Because I think I just catch myself just like mindlessly scrolling through there. Yeah,
that's what it is.
But I mean, obviously, I still need that for the other stuff. But I don't know. I think
I wonder if can you do it through like your desktop? Like if you
you can actually use your Instagram through.
Yeah, I was like, maybe just like if you needed to do content, do it on your laptop, but not on your phone, because I don't want to sit on my computer for hours. You know what I mean?
That's true.
But I'll be on my phone in the bed.
Because it's so easy, like when you're laying down in your bed, like your phone's there.
Yeah.
You can easily just grab it and
just chill.
It only takes a few seconds to get there.
Yeah, it's not good.
I'm going to try that.
Yeah, I would recommend it because I realized a lot of the things that I thought I couldn't get done had nothing to do. It was just poor time management. I was using my time to look at freaking other people's lives.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's so disgusting. I mean, I've been getting better at it, especially when I'm doing something that I try not to be on my phone, or like if I'm hanging out with people, because I used to be like the person that would just like somebody would be in front of me and I'd just be on my phone, and it's honestly it's a little annoying.
Yeah. No, I feel it.
But I should try that though.
Yeah, it's refreshing, or even have day, and once you
get like when you say things worked out for you, like what worked out?
Basically all the tasks. Like you mean when I didn't have my phone?
Yeah.
Well, that time, for instance, I was doing school. And so I was like struggling to
more productive.
Yeah. I was like struggling to get like homework done, you know? But then I was like, this doesn't make any sense because I know I spend time on my phone. And so I'm like,
well, how much time do you really spend?
If I stop spending that time, and what it did too is it helped me, it forced my attention onto other things. So I started to play with Keelan more. I started to do my homework.
Yeah,
I started to study or read. Like, it's a very, social media is a good and it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
It can be good for some, like business, money, stuff like that. Maybe some connection, but the amount of time it steals from your life, like you should pay attention to how much time you spend that, because you'll start to notice, like for me, it's like, oh, I couldn't get this done. I didn't get this done. But then like I'll get my like report, be like, oh, your time screen was like averaging 2 hours
I know.
a day.
Sometimes I'm just like,
and
fuck,
like,
3 hours?
dude,
Really?
If I had that 2 hours, I could have gone to the gym. I could have cleaned my kitchen. I could have took my son's, you know what I mean?
A lot of different things. Yeah.
Done all the things that I needed to do.
Yeah. It was funny though, because like I had a conversation with Joanna yesterday. Mm-hmm. You know, because like we were just kind of wondering, because like, oh, how come we never post any of our stuff? You know, mm-hmm. like we go out places and like we barely post on Instagram mm-hmm. when we're actually hanging out. And then, because like, you know, both of us are trying to build like a business that like we're more in like the public eye. So mm-hmm. just like, obviously you need social media, right? So like we're kind of like trying to figure out how to balance that and like trying to work that out, because mm-hmm. like we probably should be posting more, you know?
Right.
Or just like content wise. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about it. I was just like, how come we don't post stuff when we're hanging out? And we realized that's because like we're so in the moment that we're like, yes, we take pictures because, mm-hmm. you know, content.
Right.
But then it's like we're barely on our phones when we're actually like hanging out. Like we're actually like present, you know, mm-hmm. and we actually talk.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, huh.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, yep. It's like you would just enjoy the moment instead of like trying to post.
Worried about,
post or
working
like share it to the world or working in that sense. But yeah, it's just interesting.
Yeah, it's a balancing act.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to be in the public eye. It's just like, fuck. You kind of need social media.
Yeah. That's why you hire somebody to do it for you.
That is true. That is very true. Someday.
Yeah, it'll work.
But final thoughts on spirituality. This is just a brief introduction. I mean, we've kind of talked about it barely, but mm-hmm. I think it's finally good to have.
That was just our experiences.
A special.
Yeah. I mean, I think mine's still evolving, and I think if you're feeling like you need some healing, I think it would be something to at least experience, you know. Just be open to it. And if you're not open to it, then that's fine too.
I think the first step to it is listen to your intuition. And for some people that are like hearing that, mm-hmm. listen to your intuition. It's crazy because you know that voice it's always in your head, right? Mm-hmm. But sometimes we ignore it. Like, for example, like before I would go to a place mm-hmm. or like maybe go to a party, and then I feel like the vibe is off. Like I don't feel comfortable being in there. And in my head, I'm just like, oh, I'm just having a bad day. And I kind of just like go in there and mm-hmm. like feeling really bad, not wanting to be there. But I'm just like, I forced myself in. But that's your intuition that there's something in there that's not supposed to be mm-hmm. around you, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
And like, you always mm-hmm. get that intuition too. Sometimes you get intuition like, hey, hit up somebody, like text somebody. Mm-hmm. But we ignore it because like, oh, I don't want to seem like I need something or I want something, you know?
Right.
Yeah, intuition is like a whole different topic.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't know, do you listen to your intuition?
Yeah, I do.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Yeah.
Not always. Sometimes I'm like, because I know I have anxiety too.
Because I think sometimes you question it, right? Like, is
so
it my
I'm
intuition?
Like, is it intuition or am I being anxious? You know what I mean? So it's like, how do I know? But I think a lot of times my intuition has like really put me on the right, or saved me from a lot of what could have been bad things. I don't know.
Yeah, because I think intuition is not just protecting you from all the bad shit. It's more of like, sometimes you get like really good intuition too. Like, oh, I should do this.
Right.
And then sometimes we like, oh, like, I don't know if like we're scared or maybe we just don't feel confident to do it. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes like you feel it in your body, you know, like if you're like really excited about something, like I should really do this. That's basically your intuition telling you, or your spirit guide if you're on that level.
Yeah.
Telling you to like do it and good shit will happen. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. We'll have to talk about that on another.
Yeah, intuition is definitely a different topic for sure.
Yeah, because I'd want to like get all my experiences on how intuition saved me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, that would be on the further future.
It's like your gut
episode.
feeling. Intuition is your gut feeling.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. Like for you know, if you wanna,
you know, when you get that like, you know. Yeah.
And I listen to it a lot more too, because.
But that's why I think over time though, that's when I start to try and like discern if it's mine or if it's somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then
I'm just gonna tease this for like further episode, but I don't know if you guys used pendulum before. It's that pendulum, like that little. I don't know how do you describe it. It's just like, so it's a string.
It's a weight.
That has a weight in the bottom. It's usually, you know, some sort of crystal, or it doesn't have to be. You can use anything as a pendulum.
Sometimes I use my necklace.
Yeah. As long as it's like weighted in the bottom, like you can make it move. And it's crazy. So like my first time experiencing it, I've always thought it was bullshit. I've always thought, like for the longest time, for probably like 30 years of my life, I thought people are just like moving that, you know? And then so I saw, I think it was probably Javon that used it, and I watched him. And then I was like, he's not moving his finger, he's not moving his arm. But I was like, nah, there's some bullshit, you know? It's like, what is this sorcery?
Right.
And then I tried it for myself. I was like, what the fuck? Because like you ask it like a yes, no, maybe question. And like obviously you can't ask it like a specific thing. Like it's only yes or no.
Right.
Or maybe. But yeah, when I tried it for the first time, and it just like, oh, it would show me yes and it would show me no. And it's different for everybody too. It's like your yes is probably different than mine.
Right.
Because we've tried it, like we've done it before. It's just really interesting that like your body has like emits this certain like vibration that like you can ask like basically your intuition or your higher self or whatever, your spirit guide, to ask any question, like a yes or no question, and it will tell you. And sometimes when I first started using the pendulum, I was so attached to the answers. They'd be like, oh, I want this to be yes, you know?
Yeah.
And then it would tell me no. Or sometimes it would tell me yes, and then I would do it. I'm like, but that shit didn't work out in my favor, you know? I'm just like, but the universe is telling me like, yeah, because you fucking, we had to teach you a lesson or whatever.
Right,
you know?
Yeah.
But
that's true.
Pendulum is just an interesting topic. I wonder, should we show that on the podcast one of these days? Nah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Why not?
Or people are probably just going to think like, oh, you're just moving that with your finger. But then who gives a shit? I don't really
I'm
give
like,
a fuck.
you thought that.
But yeah, exactly, right? Like, I thought it was full of shit, and I did it, and I was wrong. But yeah.
That's how I knew I was going to have a son first. Okay.
Oh, yeah? You asked the pendulum.
I didn't ask the pendulum, but somebody asked the pendulum for me. I knew it. I knew it was gonna be a little boy.
You know, it's pendulum's always right, and even if that's not the answer you want, it will just tell you the answer you need.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
what you want.
that's true.
Because sometimes we're so attached to it, and we're like, please say yes, and then, well, the pendulum will say fuck you and deal with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
True.
it for the introduction of spirituality. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that.
Self-experience. I feel like I could have said more too, but I think I was a little all over the place.
Yeah, me too. Because like, there's just so many things to talk about.
I'm gonna write it down and be more prepared next time.
Next time, let's have a bullet point so we can actually touch on some topics.
Yeah, we'll do that. We're gonna do it. I think I need to do it. I need structure.
I know. When me and Felicia started doing the podcast, she was like, "We need bullet points." I was like,
Yeah.
"Why?"
I think I just need to do it. We're just gonna do it.
You can have bullet points, and then like at least it will keep us in track.
Yeah, agreed. That'll be good. It'll be good.
Yeah.
You'll like it. All right.
All right. So I think that's it for this week's episode
of Yo Check It.
And I think we're just gonna stop doing that Mario thing.
Why? Because you're not prepared. That's why.
No, because I just don't wanna. I don't want to get like copyrighted or something.
Oh well, you're supposed to make your own sound and you haven't.
And that's
I'm giving you a task.
All right, fine. I'll
just
make
do it
something.
one last one today.
For the last time ever. Okay. That's it for this week's episode. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Peace.